Ladies and gentlemen, it is Friday. Welcome on into First Take. I'm Charlie Arnold, joined here in New York with Ryan Hollins. We have Max Kellerman joining us all the way from Washington, D.C., and NFL analyst Damien Woody joining us from Bristol. Guys, what's going on? We are all over the place this morning.
I'm down here for the Teofimo Lopez fight. I suggest you check it out tonight on ESPN. He wins this fight, he gets a title shot, and he's a phenom.
Hey, man, you've been getting a beat down all week, brother. You're running and ducking. Hey, Woody, come get your man, Woody. Come get your man, Woody.
It's adorable when Simba gets frisky, starts to feel himself.
Yes, absolutely. And we all know The Lion King out in theaters now. All of us excited to see that one. All right, let's get right into things, gentlemen. What do you get when you combine a new head coach known for his strong offensive scheme and a headstrong yet extremely talented quarterback? The Packers, they are hoping for greatness. Green Bay opens up training camp this coming Thursday, and after finishing last season 6-9-1, Green Bay looking to turn things around under the direction of new head coach Matt LaFleur. Asked about the narrative of not being able to be coached, Rodgers had this to say to NBC Sports.
The most important thing with change is embracing it and being comfortable with the uncomfortable parts of it. Because, you know, look, when you've been in the system for so long, you have a way of doing things. The scheme works.
Yeah.
You look around, the scheme works.
Oh, I know. I mean, my buddy's Kyle Shanahan, right? I know.
Genius. I mean, the stuff they did against us this year in San Fran
Isn't it
was
unbelievable how they get people open?
We're watching the sides going. It's pretty cool.
All right, Max, let's kick off the discussion with you. Who is under more pressure this season, Rodgers or LaFleur?
The answer is Aaron Rodgers. Look, Aaron Rodgers is trying to become the best player who ever played his sport. And by the way, my eyeballs tell me that he's had more influence over the outcome of any one game when you include postseason games. Like, you could say that about Peyton Manning, but then Peyton Manning got significantly worse under pressure. Rodgers doesn't get worse under pressure. Rodgers is that same dude. So he has more influence over the outcome of an NFL game than any player in my lifetime. That means he's the best. One man shouldn't be able to be an army, a one-man army in the NFL. Cam Newton did it for a season. Here and there, someone could do it for a minute. But Rodgers does it year in and year out, almost no matter what's around him. But Tom Brady's sitting on 6 rings. Rodgers got 1. And a funny thing has happened in the league last season. For the first time in Rodgers' career, another guy has come along and you look at him, you go, whoa, wait a minute, timeout. Is he even more talented than Aaron Rodgers? You know, Andrew Luck came along. Can he replace Rodgers one day as the best? I'm not the greatest, the most accomplished. That's Brady. I mean the best. What your eyeballs tell you. Then Carson Wentz. Maybe Carson Wentz could be. But never did you look at those guys and go, yeah, they're as talented as Aaron Rodgers, or more maybe. Then Patrick Mahomes had the season he had last year. Really as a rookie. First time he got to start, he won the MVP of the league doing Aaron Rodgers things. So now it's that dates Rodgers, guys. All of a sudden, he's the older guy, where it's no longer, there's no even competition for that spot. This guy, Mahomes, maybe he's just as talented, maybe more, and he's the reigning MVP. So on the one hand, you're chasing Brady. On the other hand, you got Mahomes putting pressure on as a rookie, basically, as a second-year starter. Yeah, pressure's on Aaron Rodgers. One thing, guys, not to win a Super Bowl every year, that's coaching, all this stuff. It's another thing to miss the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers got to get his team to the playoffs. He's got to win a playoff game at least.
Well, you expect them to play defense too? Here's the reality. If the Packers don't perform, Matt LaFleur is going to be on the chopping block. And right now, he has one job, fellas. He has one job, and what do you notice? This is to get on the same page with Aaron Rodgers. The reality, everything that you said, Max, Aaron Rodgers is a made man, brother. You put him up there in the GOAT discussions. You talk about him with the Montanas, the Breezes, and the Bradys, and you could easily make a point that he is the greatest quarterback of all time. Now, yeah, he's got things to prove, but if you're Matt LaFleur is no longer going to have a job if he does not get on the same page with Aaron Rodgers. Obviously, you can call it an experiment. Maybe it wasn't, Aaron's first pick as head coach, but the reality is, man, this guy has to work, and if his job is to fix the offense, you know who they're going to put blame on? Matt LaFleur and not Aaron Rodgers.
first of all, let me say, with that soliloquy that Max gave, you would think that he's inducting Aaron Rodgers personally into the Hall of Fame, okay? That's all. Man, every accolade, you had it down pat with Aaron Rodgers. But listen, I have to agree with Max that Aaron Rodgers is under the most pressure. We talk about Aaron Rodgers being the most gifted passer to football, maybe of this generation. But here's what I also know. This is the same guy who basically got Mike McCarthy fired, okay? The Packers, in the last couple of years, the Packers have fired their head coach, changed GMs, okay? Got all this different personnel on defense, have basically shifted away from their philosophy of spending in free agency just to acquiesce to Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is the one piece in this whole equation with the Green Bay Packers organization that really hasn't changed, Max. He hasn't changed one bit. So when you look at everything going forward, a quarterback of Aaron Rodgers' caliber is supposed to elevate his team. Look at the quarterbacks in the NFC North. You got Mitchell Trubisky, okay? You got Kirk Cousins. You got Matthew Stafford. I think we all can say in agreement that Aaron Rodgers is by far the most talented and probably the best quarterback in the NFC North. In the past couple of years, they're sitting at third place in the NFC North, missing the playoff 2 straight years. You're talking about the great Aaron Rodgers that can't elevate the Packers to the playoffs? There's no pressure on the head coach. All the pressure's on Aaron Rodgers because he has the most improved.
Has he ever had a great head coach? Has he ever had a Hall of Fame head coach as a great head coach? Has he ever had that?
Listen, if you want to look at, it's easy to poke holes in Mike McCarthy, but if you look at Mike McCarthy's record, Mike McCarthy has a damn good resume. The man still is a Super Bowl winning head coach and won, 60+% of his games as a head coach.
McCarthy's issue is really he didn't change with the league. So he stayed the same. The league, more or less, and the league changed, right? But here's the issue, Ryan. This is why it's really on Aaron Rodgers. I agree with you. If you look at Aaron Rodgers' squad, you go, give me an A, not a B or a C. Any receivers, any skills position players on offense where you could say that's an A player? Not even one. How about on defense? Is that an A defense? Like, he is doing it. He has a couple of A tackles. That's good. That's especially dangerous the way he can move. But a lot of times they're hurt, haven't been on the field in recent years. So the details say, Ryan, that you're right. If you look up close, but history will not remember those details. History will record that Aaron Rodgers won 1 Super Bowl, and then if he doesn't make the playoffs, toward the latter stages of his career, started missing the playoffs in a league where if you're an elite quarterback, that's not supposed to happen. And to Damien's point, he got the last dude fired. Like, however you want to look at it, that's the way it's going to be seen. Now the new dude comes in. He's going to have a problem with him too? No, the pressure's on Rodgers.
So you blame Aaron Rodgers for having a defense that couldn't get stops? I mean, bottom half of the league defensively, that's Aaron Rodgers' fault? Or that's coaching, that's front office, that's personnel? We all know he doesn't have what Tom Brady has coaching-wise, personnel-wise, system-wise. So you put that all on Aaron Rodgers?
Well, we can't sit here and talk about Aaron Rodgers being maybe the best generational quarterback that we've seen, and the Green Bay Packers back-to-back years go third place in the NFC North. How can you justify that as far as Aaron Rodgers? If you're literally a generational talent like Aaron Rodgers is, you have to elevate the guys around you. That's what the great quarterbacks do. And we haven't seen that from Aaron Rodgers the past couple of years. Again, like I said, everything else has changed around Aaron Rodgers. They've added players on defense, okay? They brought in a new general manager. The focus is squarely on Aaron Rodgers right now moving forward, not the head coach.
What has Aaron Rodgers done with a squad around him? Super Bowl, MVP, throw his receivers. I mean, what more can he do?
He hasn't been back to the Super Bowl since 2011, okay? That's so far long ago, we can't even talk about that right now. What has he done in the past couple years?
It's not that there's no pressure on Matt LaFleur. He got to make that relationship work for sure. But who's under more pressure? If Matt LaFleur doesn't work out, no one's going to remember his name. People will always remember Aaron Rodgers' name, but not in the category it belongs if he starts missing the playoffs, and the NFC North is a beast right now.
I don't even think it's possible for Aaron Rodgers with a defense and a squad and a run game and receivers to actually miss the playoffs, guys. See, that's what you're missing here. If you give Aaron Rodgers a team, he will not miss the playoffs.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap up this discussion. I've got a little fun fact for you. Aaron Rodgers turns 36 this season. That is the same age Brett Favre was when Aaron Rodgers joined the Green Bay Packers in his rookie season. All right, Stephen A. Smith, he is making his triumphant return to First Take on Monday. We all can't wait for that.
Charlie, he's returning. It won't be triumphant, though. He's got to face me.
We will just see about that. We got much more lively debates to come on First Take, especially as we get closer and closer to the start of the NFL season. First Take, Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern. But in the meantime, Max, what else we got?
Coming up on First Take, the debate continues. Are Jerry West's latest comments about the Clippers really a shot at the Lakers? Plus, will Saquon actually reach his full potential as a member of the Giants? And Paul Feinbaum joins the show to give us his reaction to Jim Harbaugh saying controversy follows Urban Meyer. You won't want to miss it. More First Take next.